Good morning. All right. I am making coffee. Good morning to everybody. Oh, coffee do I have left? Okay. I got to get some more coffee. All right. I am in my kitchen and I am making coffee. So please bear with me for a moment. This is High Priestess Jamila here with discussion from spirits. Okay. A reading without the cards. I love the readings without the cards. A lot of y'all don't like for me to do my lectures, but since I am a teacher, okay, and a life coach, that is what I do sometimes. And I hope that my sound is not going in and out because in my kitchen, sometimes I lose sound. So we just get my coffee on real quick and then we can get started. If you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. If you guys are in need of any type of self-help work, um, chakra unblockings, if you have a spirit that is bothering you, if you have a bad relationship that you need to get out of, you have a relationship that you want to get into, back into, all of my links are below in the video description box. And I'm hoping that I'm coming through to y'all seriously because sometimes over here in this area, but I'm in my apothecary and I had to grab some herbs this morning. So that's why I'm kind of taking a little while to get stuff done here or to get started on this. I want to talk about why there are so many all people, and the reason why I say all people, why there's so many people that suffer from the spirit of poverty. Okay. And the spirit of poverty isn't just on people that are broke. The spirit of poverty can be on people that are very rich, who think that they're rich, but they're actually bankrupt in spiritual grace and spiritual blessings and blessings. Okay. So even if you are a millionaire, you can be suffering from poverty. Okay. But I didn't want to just put this all off on Black people. But, you know, being that this is mainly the people that you see this manifesting the spirit of ungratefulness. Okay. Um, and that's what we're going to talk about for a little minute because I got things to do, guys. I'm trying to grab some stuff here that I need to take up because I got some stuff to do. The reason why people suffer from poverty is because they are suffering from the spirit of ungratefulness. Okay, usually when you see somebody that has a problem with you, if you guys notice, I talk to women all the time. I talk to very wealthy women. I talk to very well-established financially women every day. And these women are usually being kicked down and done wrong, and or either they have someone degrading them either behind their back or in their faces for these women helping them and taking care of them and assisting them and not just blessing them with financial blessings, but blessing them with spiritual blessings, wisdom, energy. Okay, because that's what it's all about sometimes is energy. And people will steal your energy and won't give you credit for it. People will steal your inspiration. You can inspire a person and they will go and talk about you like a dog, which is another energy of ungratefulness. Okay. There are a lot of people that operate this way and they wonder why they are codependent and why they are going through poverty and why they are jealous of other people who have made um, who have been successful, who have made their own money. I think that that's a huge source of jealousy, especially when it comes to women and men. But see, the problem is, especially with Black people, is that Black people are cursed with the spirit of ungratefulness. Being ungrateful, not appreciating the people in your life, not appreciating what people bought into your life, not appreciating the gifts that people have given to you, which is not just financial gifts or monetary. That is the spirit of ungratefulness. And I believe that especially a lot of Black people, they already have a lot of self-hatred. So if you do something nice for a Black person, they are more than likely to call you stupid or dumb. Have y'all noticed that? Have you noticed that if you've done something to bless a Black person, it just because that's why people don't want to do nothing with Black people, okay? In general. That's why people are divested because of the spirit of ungratefulness. That spirit can totally destroy and take away everything that you have. People that are ungrateful usually are not taking care of themselves. Usually they always have their hands out, asking for something, and the moment that you call them on it, they're saying how dumb and stupid you are. Because they come from a very low place. They come from a place of low self-worth. So that's why you can't go and pick nobody up. Now you can be there for somebody when they need you emotionally, but going and picking somebody up for free, I would never do. And I wouldn't suggest any other spiritualist doing it. Because what people don't pay for, they really don't appreciate. Okay, this is why I charge for my services. You can save somebody's life, and because they have the spirit of ungratefulness on them, they will make you regret it. They will almost appear to be, to me, like a ghost. They will appear to almost be like a ghost that's saying to you, why did you save my life? I wanted to die. I'm not worth anything. The spirit of ungratefulness has a foundation in low self-worth and self-loathing. Okay? Everything that they have, they take it for granted. Every person that they come across, they take for granted. This is the reason why these people, and a lot of y'all got to get out of that. A lot of y'all have to get out of playing victim of what somebody done did to you. A lot of people running around and talking about, oh, this person did that to me. That everybody did something to you. Wow, so everybody in the world, everybody, it becomes a little bit suspect when it becomes everybody. Everybody did me dirty. Okay. Now, some of y'all do have past life regressions that are screaming at you. In fact, today I think I'm going to give. I think I'm going to do some readings on past life energy, not regression, but we're just going to do a simple energy. Okay. And then I'm not going to be under pressure of being on camera. I found that when I do my readings, I do a lot better when I am just doing voiceover. It has nothing to do with my ability to read cards, because you all know that I can read the cards because I'm reading you accurately exactly what's going on, exactly what happened in the past. Okay, it's just that the future can always change. Okay, but back to what I was so stay tuned for that today. Back to what I was talking about the spirit of ungratefulness. People that are ungrateful for the life that God has given them, because there's a lot of people that are ungrateful. You can give them the world and they would still spit at you because they don't care much about their life. And a lot of you guys are surrounded by people like that. Some people, it literally takes a near-death experience for them to start to appreciate their lives. Okay? See, this is one of the reasons why a lot of people hate on High Priestess Jamila, because nobody takes care of High Priestess Jamila. I take care of myself. That's a great source of jealousy, usually coming from ungrateful people. Okay, ungrateful people don't like life. The spirit of being an ingrate is very dangerous. It's a very, very dangerous spirit and a slippery slope and a huge rabbit hole to fall down in. Because if somebody appreciates their life, they're going to do what? They're going to appreciate others. And they're going to pay it forward. There's a lot of people that don't appreciate. This is toxic, especially in the Black community. This is the reason why Blacks don't get along. This spirit was put into Black people long before slavery, but it has been destroying lots of Blacks ever since then. You ever do something for a Black person and they tell you that you were stupid and dumb? Now you tell me how mature that is. You tell me if that is a person that is worthy, is even worthy of life. You do something nice for them and they curse you for it, because how dare you try to help me because I just want to die. Okay, that's one good sign of a suicidal person as well, is somebody that cannot say thank you. They don't walk away from you saying, they can't walk away and say thank you. Thank you for being an inspiration in my life. Thank you for being good to me. No, they walk away cursing you because they expected you to do harm to them. They expected for you to do harm to them. And see, this is how you get caught up in that trap. Okay, most of the time, ungrateful people, they cannot be appreciative of the things that they have currently, which is why they can't manifest more than what they have, which is how they get stuck. And God forbid you be a person with some kind of goals and aspirations in life. God forbid you be ambitious. God forbid, it ain't even about goals or ambition. It's all about setting your surroundings the way you want them to be. That's just like when I come and I talk to y'all about the lake house. Eventually, I know that I am going to wake up every day looking at a big, beautiful lake and a sunrise every day. But you know what? The way that I'm gonna manifest that, you think I'm gonna manifest that by being ungrateful? You think I'm gonna manifest that by taking it all for granted? No, I'm not. I'm gonna manifest that by being appreciative to who first? Self. Okay? See, a lot of people, especially on YouTube, they like to judge you based upon how somebody else feels. about you, or how somebody else says, what somebody else says about you. But in reality, it's about how you feel about self. That's why nobody else can validate you ever. That's false validation. Now, it's nice for people to pay you compliments and say, I like it when people say, thank you, Jamila. Thank you, Jamila, for saving me from having a cardiac arrest 2 weeks ago. Thank you, Jamila. Thank you for taking me into your home and feeding me when you didn't have to. Thank you, Jamila. I like hearing that. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I like hearing thank you. But most people in this world cannot say thank you. And the reason why is because they feel horrible about themselves. You're stupid for being there for me. You're stupid. Oh, look. Oh, look. I'm going to go over here and pretend that you're a horrible person because you were there for me. That is the spirit of ungratefulness. That is also the spirit of poverty. Being grateful will get you somewhere. That's why a lot of people are suffering financially. And I know exactly who's suffering financially because they still playing around and playing games. They're suffering financially. Okay? Anybody in your life that is still playing games and sad and upset and cussing and screaming at you and trying to do things under kilt, trying to do things subtly, trying to do things covertly, they still are going through financial problems because they cannot be grateful. When you are grateful, get a lot in return when you are grateful. Okay? One thing about me is that I'm never too good to say thank you. People get to the point where and that's a sign of a super inflated ego, which means that your solar plexus is imbalanced. And nobody wants to deal with somebody that's ungrateful. I wouldn't. That's why I keep my circle small. That's why you don't see a whole bunch of people watching me live. That's why I don't get a bunch of views. You know why I don't get thousands of views? Because my circle is small. I don't want to deal with a bunch of people energetically that don't have appreciation. And then plus, I am a small business. I don't need to have, I run a business. I'm an actual witch. I'm not here for fame. I've said that about 3,000 times throughout the years in case you don't understand me. Because sometimes I'll have YouTubers that'll say, oh, look, you ain't got no views. But that don't mean I ain't got no money. Okay, that don't mean I don't have no money. Hey, Zenaida, hello. And I would rather have the small group that I have in here, other than those people that are bad for me energetically. So I'm grateful for that. Okay, I'm grateful to even still be on YouTube. I could have gotten blocked. I could have gotten blocked from YouTube. That's a big lesson. I got very lucky. Okay, very lucky. So people that are under that spirit, they're not going to be able to appreciate the things in life that should be appreciated. Okay, such as you, your presence in their life. They take everything as a negative, people that are ungrateful. If a person is being ungrateful, and I'm sorry if they are suicidal or things of that nature, for me, I have learned the lesson to not deal with people like that because they bring in a bad negative spirit into your life. Okay, they do. I'm not even gonna lie to you. People that are suicidal and they want to die and stuff, those people have bad spirits. And I do deal with some clients maybe once a year that are suicidal. But I don't deal with clients that are suicidal. My clients are not suicidal. Okay. They may be a little depressed, but as far as wanting to kill themselves, no. And if you are somebody that is that depressed, I'm not judging you right now, but I'm just saying that maybe you need a little bit of tough love. Okay, maybe you need a little bit of tough love. Maybe you need to have a miracle on 34th Street experience with the angel of death so that you can appreciate your life more. And because at the same time, while you're suicidal over a situation, you're also blind. Because, and you know who's blind? Blind people have no understanding. They have a total lack of understanding. If somebody says something to them that may not be untrue, or maybe it could be half true, instead of them being able to make their own discernment, they will believe that person even for 2 seconds. They'll believe in what they're saying over God and over their own consciousness that's in their brain. Okay, it can take people a while to clear out the negative energy of a person that totally lacks appreciation. This has been the main aspect that has caused me to have problems with people that I have invited to my home, people that have ate my food, people that have breathed my air, people whose lives I have saved. They have spit in my face and said, Jamila, how dare you do that for me? Now, I will tell you that those people are forgiven because I have a better understanding. I understand people under possession. So a lot of the people that come to me, these are mediums that are under possession. Okay. So if you are under possession, or if you can be placed under possession at any moment, you have to learn that, and you have to learn the proper channels to protect yourself, because now you're under possession, under that psychosis, and being under possession is not always for your higher purpose. I've seen people under possession for months of demons, and they end up out on the streets and they don't know how the hell they got there. So then they have to disassociate completely from their situation and adapt. Okay. People that don't appreciate life, people that walk around and say, oh, this world is messed up. Oh, I stay away from people like that. I don't want people like that around me. Because those are some of the most negative and low vibrating people. I don't want you around me if that's all you see is the negative in the world. Okay. Because sometimes the negative, and I thought even God said this, that the negative was created so that you could see and appreciate the positive. But people that are so solely focused on the negative will bring nothing but negativity into your life. There's always going to be something in the news to gripe about. There's always going to be something happening. Always. Okay. It's okay to have empathy. Having empathy versus wanting to chase the negative. That's all you do is chase after the negative, even when somebody sees. And a lot of these people can't see the positive. A lot of people are so addicted to the negative that they will take every positive thing that you did for them and throw it away, and you can do the slightest slight and they trying to kill you. Spirit of ungratefulness. Okay. Because we're not even going to talk about narcissism, because again, that word has been played out. It's been played out. Okay, we're talking about spirits over here. But to be honest with you, I don't even believe in narcissism. I don't even believe in mental illnesses. I believe that most people that you see that are doing weird things, they are spiritually possessed. Okay. That's just like if you were somebody that was extremely telepathic, or if you were somebody that there's actually realities where people see, y'all don't understand that y'all, because y'all live in one reality. You realize that there's a reality that is a it's a different paradigm where people are just moving things around with their hands. I'm glad I don't live in that world. Thank you, goddess. Because can you imagine living in the spiritual paradigm where everybody can move objects with their hands? Can you imagine? And can you imagine the hell that they going through? We ain't going through nothing right here in this reality. Them people that them people that they making planes fall out of the sky. They able to crush people like it's pretty bad. We live in a reality. My reality is where there are a lot of people that are mediums. Okay, so this reality, we are dealing with being mediums. Most of the people that I know that are watching me, we are dealing with medium. We are dealing with spirits and energy. Is basically what this paradigm is all about: spirits and energy. Okay, so which you would think would be a no-brainer, right? And then these people will say, oh, I want more power. No, baby, you can't even handle the power that you got right now, which is as a medium. You can't. You ain't even begun to tip the iceberg of dealing with you communicating with spirits yet, baby. You don't need to live in the telepathic realm. I'm sorry, not telepathic. Telekinesis. Okay. Because the way these folks are, they can't even figure out their own gifts. If you lived in the paradigm where you could telekinetically move things, they'd have been done locked you up and put you in jail. Because imagine how different the rules are if it's in that particular reality. If you don't have control over your gifts, you'll get thrown probably in the loony bin. So it ain't like it's all gravy there in the world of telekinesis. You have to be in control of your gifts, or else. And I think sometimes they'll even put you to death because you're too dangerous. Okay, and they'll say, well, everybody in this world can move objects with their mind. What are you talking about? So they're not gonna stand for all that. That's why it probably ain't that many people in that world, because people tend to people tend to do things that don't make no sense anyway. In this paradigm that we live in, being grateful is very important. For some reason, we are in this reality where you have to appreciate. This is the reason why we're always venerating the ancestors. But it's not just about venerating the ancestors. You can't go out into the world, dog everybody out, call them stupid for being there for you, for helping you, and then go and venerate the ancestors. It don't work that way. Because the ancestors is in everybody else. The ancestors are communicating with you through me right now, whether or not you want to believe it or not. Okay. People that are ungrateful, you have to handle them sort of at a distance. You have to distance yourself from ungrateful people. Unfortunately, you do. Because ungrateful people, and if you noticed it, if you can do a self-check analysis, if you have that spirit of being ungrateful, then more than likely you got your hand out asking somebody else for something else. And see, people that got their hand out, there, look, what I found is that you can't give ungrateful people too much, because if you give them too much, it'll make them even more ungrateful. So a lot of these people in this reality, they got to go out and work for whatever they want. They got to go out. They have to start a business. I'm not talking about going out and getting a job, because y'all know that I believe in starting your own businesses. So it ain't about getting no job. Okay. But a job could be good for some people until you are at the level where you can start a business and start manifesting through a business. People that are ungrateful, that's one of the worst things ever. And I don't get too many clients like that are ungrateful and take everything for granted. But when I do, oh my God, I have to clean my house every day. I have to banish that energy of ungratefulness. And that's why I get so, oh my God, if it's one, let me tell y'all something about me. If it's one way to mess up with me, is being ungrateful and coming at me complaining and whining and complaining. I can't stand that. After you already told me that you've been manifesting with the work that we've been doing together. And then one day we're manifesting. And then the next day, oh, so and so and so. And when I give you the advice that's needed, you don't want to take it. You don't appreciate it. You take it for granted. But you know what, the way that I am is that I know that one day what I told you and taught you, you are going to eventually have to use it and apply it to your life. People that are ungrateful are not worthy of respect, not mine. You're not worthy of my respect. I'll be respectful simply because I don't want to argue with you. Because when you start arguing with somebody and y'all body temperature start going up, and then that's when the vapor starts coming. That's when there's a spiritual exchange of energy. In fact, I got a policy. Everybody that come in my front door is getting saged at the door. You ain't getting in my house unless I'm able to sage you from head to toe. Don't bring that crap into my house. Okay. Because I have let people come over and into my home and push all their little bad negative energies and spirits in my home. And you know why? Because I am the type of person that is very self-sacrificing, but I'm also self-serving. Because I don't really feel that making a sacrifice for somebody is that big of a deal. But I'm also self-serving. So if I'm making a sacrifice for you and you totally taking it for granted, that's your problem, not mine. What am I supposed to be judged because you can't appreciate something good that somebody did for you? Hello, Prince of Presence. I ain't seen you in a minute. People with that spirit and that delusion of grandeur, don't nobody owe you nothing. Ain't nobody had to do nothing for you. Some of these people think that they big hot shit because people, are giving them something, and looking at people that earn something as if they are crap. And that includes those of you that have jobs and businesses. The spirit of ungratefulness. This is the reason why I'm going to eventually wake up to the lake and the sunrise, and they are still going to be stuck where they at because they don't know how to be grateful. The best that they could wish for is an enabler. I don't enable self-limiting behaviors, because if you're ungrateful, that means that you are very limited. You don't wake up in the morning like Jamila. High Priestess Jamila wakes up in the morning like, oh my God, thank you. Thank you, Goddess, for the grand rising. Thank you, Goddess, for the lessons and the blessings. The world is very abundant. There is always opportunity waiting for me. I am loved. I am valued. I am respected. And I am free from fearing doubt, fear and doubt, casting want and misery out, knowing now all good supply comes from realms on high. I am the hands of God's own fortune, treading forth the treasures of light, now receiving full abundance to supply each need of life. I don't need nothing else. I don't need, after I done said that, I say that every day. And you know what, trust and believe, them bad spirits be on me, and sometimes I can't say it. But that's my daily affirmation. So that means that I know that I ain't got to have validation from nobody at all, which means that if somebody say something about me, so I already validated myself. I already received the blessings from the universe. Definitely allows in more bliss and less struggle. But then again, I appreciate the struggle. I appreciate the struggle. I appreciate the struggle that I go through with people. This is why I am forgiving of people. People that spit in your face when you forgive them for things that they have done are very ungrateful, and they have a very, very destructive spirit on them that is eventually going to destroy them. And they'll tell you that you're weak because you're strong in your love. I am a loving person. That makes me strong, having the ability to love myself and others, because if I didn't love myself, I wouldn't be able to love other people. These people that walk around under the spirit of ungratefulness, they don't love nobody. They couldn't possibly. They can't even appreciate life. You can give a person thousands of dollars, millions of dollars. It's the reason why most people cannot be a millionaire. It's why most people can't have financial wealth and security, because they're way too insecure about themselves. They don't even believe that they deserve it. All of the success that I get at my company is because I deserve it, because I appreciate it. I've been doing great. I've been doing great in spite of the problems, but I've been doing great, Prince of Presence. How you been doing? Okay. Now, there are some things that you probably shouldn't appreciate, which is somebody downing and being negative. But if you listen to somebody that's downing you, sometimes it depends on the vibrations of that person. Sometimes when somebody is downing you, you can see a gem even in negative words that a person has said about you. The gem is there. Everything that you feel is negative, for example, if somebody gets to tripping with you, if somebody gets to saying something to you, you take it as a negative. No, that is a sign that something positive is coming. That's called transmutation. And that energy is very powerful. Even when your kids do stuff. Sometimes when your kids do stuff that it make you mad, but then if you are really working with the essence and the spirit of God consciousness, then you'll know that that was probably just a debt that needed to be paid to lead to your salvation. This story is kind of gritty. I don't know if I want to tell this story. You know what? I have the right to be honest. In my first little townhome that I lived in, I don't even want to. I'm not going to tell that story. That story. That's I'm supposed to be doing an OnlyFans page, and I've told this story before, but I'm not going to tell it again because people have a tendency to be judgmental. But Jacob, let me just give y'all the synopsis of the story. But I'm not going to be doing anything sexual over there. Okay. Maybe some of my rituals will be done halfway in the nude, but I'll be covered. Like my areas will be covered. Okay. Because I do a lot of my rituals in my bra and panties. Okay. But and I'll probably have robes on. Let's scratch that. No bra and panties on the OnlyFans. I'll have on a robe, but I'll be naked underneath the robe. So you can just use your imaginations. Everything that Jacob, my son, who's 8 years old, has done, everything, even when Jacob appears to be negative that day, it is a sign of something good to come. Everything, like if he spills something in a spot or something, he been done made me discover something else very important that I needed to get rid of. Children are a blessing and not a curse. Life is a blessing and not a curse. Sometimes a person's mistake is your salvation, is your redemption. Depends on what it is. For real. But, even sometimes, people, the way that they look, I'm not going to get into that. Death is something that I only discuss during my necromancy classes and courses because we can't be speaking about that because people are not ready for that. So we're not going to speak of that here today. Mm-hmm. They are. And so I probably won't make my way over there until probably about October when they do that anyway, because, I didn't really like that energy. I think that sexual energy is very sacred, but it depends on who's using it and what are they using it for. So, so yeah, I'll probably make my way around to OnlyFans sometime in about a month or so when they cancel all that other stuff off of there because, I believe that sexual energy is too sacred. And I believe that the world and the society that we live in today, they are way too comfortable with trafficking and exploiting other people's sexual energy. See, for me, I will gladly participate in self-exploitation, but when the moment somebody else tries to exploit me, there's a problem. Don't because I believe that everybody has the right. If you want to be a webcam model, if you want to go out there and do whatever you want to do with your sexual energy, that is your choice. That is your free will. I am not judgmental of that. I'm not. I'm going to tell you the dangers and I'm going to tell you how to protect yourself. Okay. But the moment someone else steps in and says, I want to take advantage of and exploit your sexual energy, that's when there's a problem. Okay. Because everybody got the right. If I want to come on here and show a nipple, it's my business. Okay. Yeah. I don't care if you don't like the way my nipple looks. So what? You know what I'm saying? But the moment somebody else say, hey, I'm going to take this and exploit this for my own purpose, then that's when it's a problem. And then also, it's dangerous to have nudes out there because people can take your nudes and they can do all kinds of spells and rituals and curses. And so sometimes it's best to just keep your personal business. But, who cares if somebody does that? It's not the end of the world. That's what hex removers and reversals are for. And then you just keep it moving. Okay. I've seen people wrapped up in stuff for years and years and years of something somebody done did to them and they could have been done, reversed it, and moved on with their life or moved on or did something. Okay. A lot of y'all got to get that spirit of ungratefulness. In fact, when I am doing readings for y'all, there are going to be some cases that I'll take your case. I'll do some, I'll help you with the work, but we got to have a conversation depending on how you talking. If you talking like, oh, I don't want to be here, I did not ask to be born, I want to commit suicide, then we need to, you need to purchase an extra 30 minutes so that we can have a conversation of enlightenment of why you shouldn't do that. Hopefully now a lot of people understand that you probably don't want to come to me with that energy. It's not that you have to hide it, but if you do come to me with that energy, there's going to be certain workings that I'm not going to do for you yet because you're not ready for that work. You need probably just a cleanse to start you off with. Because a lot of people that come to me, they'll say, I want the generational hex remover and I want it now. And I'll say, no, you need to start with a cleanse. And they'll say, well, why you want to accept less? Well, you can purchase the generational hex remover later on, but you just right now you need a cleanse because you got a very bad spirit on you. And a cleanse is very different than a curse remover. Cleanses is a whole other ball game. Cleanses is an emergency treatment for very, very bad spirits that may be plaguing you. Okay. But yeah, I am going to be on OnlyFans in about another month or so when the energies are cleared out from there. In the meantime, a lot of my conversations and talks and lectures will be on here. Yeah, exclusively on YouTube. I'm very exclusive when it comes to YouTube. I will share my YouTube channel and videos with other social media networks, but as far as trying to build somewhere else, and YouTube is, and I'm exclusive with YouTube because this is where I started and this is where I'm going to finish. Okay, and when by saying finish, I mean retire. Okay. So a lot of people, you probably will see me on here at the age of 70 or 80. And you will see what I look like when I get older. Okay. Now, if I'm still looking like I'm in my 20s, okay, I may have to hide myself because then people gonna be like, okay, I'm confused, Jamila. Why are you 70 and you still look like you 25 or 30? What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? And so that may be kind of because anyway. If you have the spirit of ungratefulness on you, you need a cleanse. If you can't appreciate yourself and other people in your life and you can't appreciate what you have, because there's a lot of people, they have mansions. They got 10 brand new cars and they still walking around with that spirit of ungratefulness. And if you're running around with the spirit of ungratefulness, spirit will take money out of your hands because they want you to pay attention to that. They want you to pay attention to that. So that's why if you're a very ungrateful person, that is why financial troubles are usually an issue for people that are ungrateful. I don't even want to get into an argument with a person that's ungrateful. I don't really want to have a conversation really with a person that is ungrateful, somebody that is unappreciative. Because what that tells me is that stuff is slowing off onto me. And that's how you guys end up being blocked in a lot of ways, financially, spiritually. And it's not just about financially. I wouldn't want a bunch of money with a bunch of misery. Who wants that? Nobody wants that. So this is the reason why a lot of wealthy clients come to me, because they'll get certain spirits put on them that they may not know how to remove. Okay. And some people, even if they are a client or have been a client, sometimes they have the problem with not appreciating me because of other people not appreciating me. So then that's when they're following their followers. So I don't deal with followers. If you see somebody else not appreciating me and you decide, oh, I'm not going to appreciate her, then I know that you ain't where I'm at. You're not on my level. You and people consistently that are ungrateful to you are going to be able to hurt you very deeply, very, very deeply, and for a very long time because you don't appreciate. You have an issue with appreciating people. And judgment. We're not going to talk about the spirit of judgment today, though. That's a whole other nother. Okay. So, if you have any of these spirits that are on you, you're going to have a very negative experience. The people that deal with you are going to have a very negative experience. And you're probably going to have money problems. Okay. People that lack appreciation, as soon as they walk in your front door, they blocking out the blessings. Okay. Well, Prince of Presence, here's the whole thing about it is that people have not and see, I myself had to reach that level to where when that demon of unappreciation speaks to me, I don't have to answer to it. I don't have to answer to it because today's the 22nd and it's going to be a lot of very ungrateful, very unappreciative people. And they probably gonna act a fool. I'm not going to respond because you only have to answer to who you are. If somebody is calling you outside of your name or somebody is calling you out outside of your character and you know that that's not the truth, you don't have to respond to that. And everything is a test. Even your family will test you that way. Doesn't mean that you have to go off into that. And they can, because when you sit back and you stop responding to those demons, then eventually they'll give up and eventually that person will come back to you and say, you know what, I apologize for what I did. I apologize for not appreciating what you did for me because I was tripping, because I didn't appreciate my life, because I was down in the dumps and I wanted you to be down in the dumps too. And I didn't know how to react because some people ain't never had nobody either do something for them or either, because a lot of people, they put value in what somebody did for somebody and as a monetarily thing. It's not always money. Okay. There's other things that people can do for you that are worth gold, worth more than money. Okay. And then there's also the principle of treating others the way that you want to be treated, and then actually following that principle and not, lowering yourself to that energy and to be in that low energy field with those with people that are doing that. And it's not that you're judging them. It's not that you feel like you're too good for them. You're just smart and you understand the value of not doing that because it's poison. Okay. So, and when you can look back at life, when was the last time you was able to look back at life and appreciate, just take the whole totality of it and look back and appreciate not only the positive experiences, but the negative experiences that you've had with people? Because if it was negative, God may have been trying to tell you something, spirit might have been trying to tell you something. So and sometimes God might be telling you, hey, there's a bad spirit right here. You may want to back off of that situation, that issue, take a break, do something. Okay, a lot of people, what they're tied up in is the past and what people did to them in the past and what happened in the past. They can't move forward. Okay, God forbid you say the forgive word. Oh, they really get upset because that's the spirit of ungratefulness. Because most people that love life and they love their life, they're going to be able to look back at even the negative experiences and see what they did wrong, or see what they may have done, or it may not even have been wrong. There is no right or wrong. They may be, somebody that truly appreciates life can look back and have a greater understanding of what was happening, especially when you're dealing with spirits, especially when you're dealing with being under spiritual possession. This is one of the biggest hurdles and obstacles that people are having these days, especially when it comes to kinships and relationships. A lot of mediums, a lot of empaths, that's one of their main complaints. This person, so and so, won't forgive me. They won't understand because at the time I was dealing with they spirits and I was under possession, and that happens. Okay, you can't allow that to dictate your everyday life or your everyday energy, because sometimes things do happen in spirit that are unfortunate, that are, and typically when you're dealing with stuff that is negative, it's because it's meant for you to deal with that conflict and move beyond it. So you have to be able to look back on life and say, hey, now I get it. Now I get why that was happening. But see, some people won't have any memory, and that can be temporary demonic possession or either spirit possession. So it's a lot of different things. But at the end of the day, nobody should be walking away from any situation completely blaming it on one person. See, that's called lack of self-accountability. You have to be able to see and accept what you did, what they did, and why it ended up that way, and why you need to take control over self at some point. Okay, so I do teach classes on controlling spirits. However, some things cannot be controlled. Okay, you can't control everything. People that want to control everything, these are some of the most diabolical people, and spirit in nature is going to take over, and it's going to teach those people that they ain't got control over nothing yet, especially when it comes to what's coming in through spirit. Sometimes you don't. If you living with a medium, if you are around somebody that is a medium, they can become under influence of bad spirits at any moment. These people are extremely vulnerable to negative spirits. Do you go and hate that person and say, "Oh, I hate this person"? No, you don't hate somebody that doesn't all the way have their spiritual gifts in check. Okay, especially when sometimes those spirits could be coming from you, speaking directly to you, from you. There's been a lot of people that have been possessed by other people's spirits and spirit guides, whether or not they are good or bad or indifferent. It's all about having an understanding of what is happening in spirit. Okay, so I do teach necromancy classes. You guys want to get into it because I am offering courses starting on the 22nd, 27th of August. Okay, so get into it. Got to make sure that you get a reading first, though, because I'm not accepting everybody into classes. There's no way that I would be able to accept everybody. Okay, but if I feel that you'll be a good match, then I will allow it. Here's the thing: I don't just sell spells to anybody. Sometimes I'll be willing to do a reading for you, but I'm not going to do no spell work because I already know what's up with that. Okay, and then I charge for my spell work too, and it's not cheap, because what you find is that if you're cheap with your spiritual work, with what you're charging, okay, and I don't teach my witches to be cheap. Okay, I don't teach them to be cheap, because when you cheat yourself. Okay, There's a certain going rate depending on the region of the world that you're in, and depending on the area. Okay, and a lot of people was wanting me to move back to Kansas City, Missouri. If I lived in Kansas City, Missouri, my prices would have to go up. The cost of living is very high in Kansas City, Missouri. Believe it or not, it's actually over here in Georgia. The cost of living is actually pretty decent over here. Okay, and that's why I like it over here. So that's why I'll stay here, remain here. Okay. Anyway, you guys, that's my discussion. I hope that y'all got something from this. And if you guys need to reach me for readings, all of my links are located below in the video description box. Have a happy full moon, and I will see y'all later. Okay. Thank you for coming. Love and light.